I don't want to be a product of my environment. I want my environment to be a product of me.
Prestige Living Podcast. So with that, who do you want to be?
Hello, welcome to Prestige Living. This is Jay O'Brien with another segment of Be Bold. We live in a day and age, and really have as far back as I can really remember, where couples, spouses, significant others of really any kind begin to develop a very similar routine with one another. And I don't mean that one starts acting like the other. I mean couples as a whole start to exhibit a behavior that across the board we see in all shapes and sizes, all ages, all genders, etc. And it's an unhealthy one that may be attributed to being together for an extended period of time, or being bored with one another, or perhaps just resentful and out of love. And I'm not sure what exactly causes it, but I feel it's critical to address this because I bet most people don't even realize it's happening in the moment. We see it on sitcoms, we witness it in real life, and we probably have even done it ourselves. And what I'm talking about are those small jabs that are thrown, but mostly only in the company of others, almost like it's being done for an audience. Let me give you an example. So it wouldn't be odd at all to be in a group setting, let's say of 3 couples, and as one another are catching up and mingling, a story is being told by a woman speaking of her husband. She, let's say, refers to him attempting to perform a task outside of his realm, like cooking. And as the story is being told, he quickly gets roped into it, almost as the punchline to her joke, as if she's able to essentially deliver entertainment to the friend group at her husband's expense. And it's a very small and quick jab, but one that, and I'm sure it's one that mostly goes unrecognized, except perhaps maybe to the person who's at the butt of the joke. But it might sound something like this. Yeah, and then Joe tried cooking for the kids while I was gone, and you know how that goes. And everyone laughs and carries on with the conversation. And like I said before, we see this everywhere. It's on TV and movies, at the bar with our friends, and it goes both ways. Men do the exact same thing too. Like, they might say something like, yeah, Debbie thinks she has a good voice, so she's always singing in the shower. I had to buy earplugs. It seems minuscule, but really it's kind of just stupid and driving the relationship in the wrong direction for absolutely no reason at all. Maybe it's not making someone feel terrible, but it's definitely not making anyone feel good. So what's the point? Significant others should be amplifying the characteristics of their counterparts, and not just in private, but even more so perhaps in a public setting. It would be far more appropriate to say something positive, and what an example you'd be setting for the couples in your vicinity, and what a breath of fresh air to those people who actually, quote, love each other, that are actually acting like they fucking love each other. For example, what if instead of the passive-aggressive or small condescending remark, we said something like, yeah, Joe loves cooking, so it's awesome when he does it while I'm away. He's a huge help. Or, yeah, I love how Debbie's always singing. It puts me in a good mood when she's in a good mood. The smallest little things go the furthest in a relationship and sustain the passion for that much longer. And we rarely see these things, and it's so simple. A relationship is a team of 2 individuals who should be adding value to one another's life rather than draining it slowly from one another. This goes for what happens at the end of the day through daily conversation, what happens in public when conversing with others, what happens in the bedroom, on vacation, in the car, etc., etc., etc. The monotonous, timid, status quo draining will suck the life out of what was once an incredible thing. And we all know of relationships like these. We've all been in relationships like these, and some of us are currently in relationships like these. And think about it. What is the point? Why even bear the burden of another individual in your life if they're taking away from it rather than adding to it? And no, it's not complicated. That's a story that we just tell ourselves. We make it complicated as a way to justify our cowardice behavior from yanking off the Band-Aid and actually being happy. This life doesn't last forever. Decide who is worthy of monopolizing your time. Be intentional with your love, be supportive of those you care for, and be fucking bold.
If you would like to be on the Prestige Living podcast or know someone that would be a great guest, go to www.prestigelivingpodcast.com. We'd love to hear your story.